Alright everyone, I tried to do some recording and it didn't take. I've been folding this part up very tightly here. I've got 3 more. I'll cut another one off and clean it and show you how to do a complex fold using the photo etch bender. I tried to do it by hand and it all got all messed up. So I'm going to pause for a bit. I'll come back. Okay everyone, here's the completed product. Now let's zoom in on that as far as the camera is going to go. Okay, this is completed product. This is what we're going to do, is we're going to take this part here and turn it into this part here. Now, this part here, if you look at it, is a folded up, it's actually 2 folded up boxes stuck together. There are 4 of these in the photo etch set for the TIE Fighter. Okay, and they're kind of complex folding shapes, so I think they'd make a good subject for a tutorial. Alright, because you have to fold them correctly or they don't come out. And that one, this was the first one. I thought I'd videotaped it and I looked up and the camera powered down, so it apparently did not tape. I only have 7 pieces left on the photo etch sprue right now, which will make me happy when they're all done and all off there. A lot of them are just clean up with very little gluing together. No folding. I've got most of the folding done already. I've just got 1 part 13 left to fold, I think. It does not look, yep, 1 part 13 that gets a fold after these boxes, and then the rest of it's put together. So I've almost got all the folding done. Okay, so let's start with this box. Let me get the bender. Let me put the 1 box in its safety bay so I don't lose it. I put the lid on that so even if I do drop it, it doesn't come out. That was that pill box I showed you guys earlier. Okay, well, I broke that pill box. We will figure that out in a little bit. There we go, it's closed. Okay, I got the bender out. It's coming in. I'm going to decrease the zoom a bit because it's a little too much right now. To start with, I'm going to start with this little edge. Okay, I started elsewhere on this one the first time, and that was trouble, and I got the part upside down, so I need to turn it over. There is an right side up and upside down to this because of the fold lines. You can see them here. It folds better if you fold inwards on the fold lines than outwards. Okay, and I'm aligning it. I'm going to clamp it like that. I get my blade, which was stuck to my elbow. I'm bringing my blade in. You gotta get the blade under there. And this is a 90-degree fold, so I'm just taking her up 90 degrees. First fold is done. Now this is where it starts getting tricky as you work your way around the box, because that first one is simple. They're not so simple after the first one. Actually, the second one isn't too bad either, because we're just doing a 90-degree corner here, and I can get that aligned right without too much trouble. There we go. Got my blade. The blade under there. Just bring her up 90 degrees. And you guys can now see I have 2 sides of my box. I'm going for the 3rd side. Now, here's where the trouble comes in. I can't put it under there because of this edge. And this is why photo etch benders come with different size tips. So I can maneuver this thing and manipulate it and get that fold line on an edge where I can get something under there to bend it with. Like right there. I mean, that's almost the perfect size for this thing. Now, one thing about this, I don't have to fold it 90 degrees. I just need to get it started, and I can do it the rest of the way with my fingers, but I think this one's going to let me do it. Yes. So I've got 3 edges, 3 corners of my box is done. Okay. You guys can see that 3/4 of my box is done. Now, what's left is the box that goes inside the box. And the best way to handle that is to start at the very edge and work your way inwards. So I've got that aligned. I'm going to get this. Now this time the blade has to go under the whole photo etch piece. And I'm bending the whole thing up like that. You guys see what I've done? Okay. Then the next part goes under there. And I bend it up 90 degrees. And then we get to the tricky one. Because there's no way I can actually bend this one 90 degrees. Because we've already got too many bends going. But as long as I can start it, I can finish it with my fingers. Because this is a big piece. So I get it in there and I get the bend started. And that way the bend goes in the proper place. Okay? Let's get where you guys can see this thing. Yeah, you can see it. I've got it started right. Now I can get in here with my fingers and bend it into the rest of the shape. Okay, it's almost a complete square. It's a little off there. I think the thing's going to come out a little off. I think the parts are not 100% symmetric. Alright, now what's left is to fold this part upwards. And that's also simple to do. And then squaring it up just a little bit and getting all the parts to line up the proper way. And we have our other box. Okay. Hopefully you guys learned something from that. The only thing I have left to teach you guys now is putting this on your parts. On your plastic model parts. And I'll come back and talk about that when I get to that part. And put that on the step. Okay? So I'm going to quit videotaping for now and get busy to work so I can get to bed sometime. I will be back in a little bit. Hello everyone. I just made like a 3-minute video. And this camera, it's trying me today. I push record, it makes a record sound. I look away, look up, and it's not recording anymore. I don't know why it's done that to me twice today. Anyhow, what I was saying is I passed a milestone today. Finished all the photo etches off the sprues, off the fret. There is no more photo etch on the fret. Now it's not all on the model because some of those go on the clear parts. Some of it, yeah, and if they go on the clear parts, they have to be painted first. And the clear parts the clear parts go on have to be painted first. That's going to wait a little bit. So I have just a little bit more photo etch work to do. And then it's just painting and lighting. Literally, the major assemblies are done. The major sub-assemblies are done. The solar panels are painted. You've already seen that by now. That should be in a video before this one. So what I'm really left with dealing with is the lighting. And I've got a lot of the lighting figured out. There's a few places that are worrying me a teeny bit. And they're not major. One of them is the laser cannons on the front. I can do that really simply, or I can do that kind of crazy, and I'm thinking the crazy part. You'll see when I get to it. Some of the painting's done. I've already painted the solar panels. Once I paint the exterior parts, they just glue together and they're done. Okay? And something I thought was a mold line on the solar panels apparently is supposed to be there. Which makes me feel a lot better. After seeing some other TIE fighter models, I've seen that same line on them, so I know that line's supposed to be there. I just got to figure out if it goes across the top or across the bottom. That's about it. I'm going to bed. It's 2.5 hours past my bedtime. I can't get to this tomorrow. It'll have to be Tuesday. It is Sunday. Actually, it is now Monday. What's the date today? I'm looking on Mr. Phone. Monday, May 12th. I can't get back to this until the 14th. Tomorrow I've got too much going on. There's just too many errands to run and stuff like that. So we'll be back later. Just you guys have a good one before I ramble my rear off.